say, tell me about the back of the bus. And that's what you'd have to do, is talk through the back of the bus.
Okay.
Okay. So front end, normally you start from top to bottom. So you'd start off with your 3 amber clearance lights. Make sure you say amber. 3 amber clearance lights. Then you point out your 2 amber warning lights and your 2 red warning lights. Okay. Then you go to the windshield. You say the windshield is not cracked or broken, not shattered. And then you go to the wipers. It's normally not on here, but anything you add helps. Okay.
Okay.
The wipers aren't on the list, but you'd still check the wipers and make sure that they're sturdy and in place. The hood is not broken. Some of the hoods actually we have are a little bit broken too, but yeah, the hood isn't broken. The mirrors are sturdy and in place, both of them. So you'll want to point them out. Headlights aren't cracked or broken. They're in place. Same with your turn signals. So your turn signals on this are going to be with your headlights. It's all in one unit. Then you can also point out this turn signal if you want to. Okay, then you go to the grill. Grill is sturdy and in place. It's not cracked or broken. That's a big thing, not cracked or broken. Bumper, sturdy, in place. License plate with current tags. Okay, and then you'll look under it and make sure that there's no leaks. So that's the whole front of the bus. If I got everything. See if I missed anything. Then the next thing you're going to do is they'll have you open the hood. If I miss anything that you have questions on or that's on your list, please let me know.
Okay.
And I will be able to point it out. Okay, so that you'll actually start. Yep, on the right-hand side. So first you show your power steering fluid, which in this one is the minimum of cold, so this one's actually low. So you'll point that out. We'll actually have that filled. We'll have all your fluid levels filled. So you have your power steering fluid. Then you have your water pump, which is actually connected in, is your water pump. Okay? And then you also have your alternator, which is on this bus is on the other side. I'll point that one out on the other side.
Is your water pump belt driven?
Yes. Yep.
And that has
It's belt
that
driven.
3/4 inch plate?
Right. Yep. And I'll get to that. Yep. And then you have your air compressor, which is down below. You can't actually see the air compressor. Air compressor is actually back here, right on the other side of your battery box, but you can't see that. But just where you point, at least they know that you know the general area of where it is. Okay? And then you check your hoses for leaks. Any air leaks, these are air lines, so they'd have air leaks. And all your wiring, make sure your wiring is all in place. And there's not a lot of play in your wiring, no broken wires, no that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then actually we have to talk about steering. So you have your steering box. Okay? And then your steering hoses. These would technically be steering hoses. These will be steering hoses. And this is your steering linkage. You have to point all that out. Just make sure that there's not a lot of play in it. This one it'll turn, but there's not a lot of up and down motion, that kind of a thing. Nothing broken, nothing cracked. None of the hoses are ripped. Lines are leaking. That kind of a thing. Okay? And go to the other side. You have your coolant reservoir is right here. Your alternator is right here. Then you can point out your fan. And then your belt, which doesn't have a lot of play. Okay? I think that's all you have to point out under the hood. Make sure I have everything. Oh, I didn't show the oil dipstick. The oil dipstick, I'll show that to you
Yeah.
quick.
And the transmission?
Yep, this is both on this side. So this would be your oil dipstick. And during the test, you don't actually have to pull it out and show them the level or anything.
Okay.
Just make sure that you know, they want you to know where it is.
Uh-huh.
So oil dipstick and transmission dipstick. Okay?
Transmission has to be checked with the vehicle on.
With the vehicle running.
Did you say
Yeah.
this is power
And
steering?
This is power steering fluid.
Okay, it says so.
Yep. It is marked.
True.
So So
Can you label everything, please?
we thought about it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
We label ours.
Okay, and then you'll actually, after that, you'll go to the side of the bus. And normally they like to start off with the driver's side.
Okay.
So actually starting on that side of the engine is better. When I did my test, I started on this side. That's why I went to this side first.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing you point out is the tire, which this tire is actually getting pretty close, but this will pass. So this is 4/32 depth. Also point out that the tire is in good condition. Okay, and it's inflated. You don't have to say how much PSI, but it is inflated. Okay, and then you'll talk about your rim. It's not cracked or broken. Your lug nuts are all sturdy. You know, not loose is the main thing. And then you have your hub cap, oil seal, hub, oil seal, many different terms for it. They'll know what you're talking about. Then back here you have...
And is there a level on the outside there of it?
For oil?
Yeah.
On that one there
No.
isn't.
No.
There isn't on ours. No,
Okay.
which then you won't have to point it out. If it's not there, you don't have to point it out. Yeah, we don't have a level.
Okay.
Not on any of the buses, actually.
Okay.
Then you'll point out your shocks. Okay. Shock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you have your springs, which are actually leaf springs. They just call them springs, but these are your springs. And they're not bent too far, they're not broken, they're not out of place, is what they're looking for. Your U-bolt are holding the springs. Your mounts is everything that's locked down in the U-bolt.
Okay.
You get that? Mm-hmm. U-bolt and mount.
Yep,
That's what
yep.
that is for the leaf springs. Did you see where it was?
Oh
Do you
yeah,
need me to
that's
point it out?
easy, but I don't know where the slack adjusters and the rod.
Yep,
Can you point-
I'm
yep.
working my way down
Okay.
there. Yep. Okay, and then you have your brake hoses and your brake lines. Okay, this is your slack adjuster right here.
Okay.
And there's actually a smaller brake chamber up here. This is a brake chamber. So brake chamber, slack adjuster.
What do you call
That's a clevis. It's all a part of that's a part of the slack adjuster.
this? And the rod is the thing that goes up and down
Yep.
in there? Okay.
Yep. The rod is actually a part of the brake chamber that sticks out of the brake chamber. This would be your rod connected to your clevis,
Oh,
to the slack adjuster.
okay.
Okay? Then you have your belts and hoses. The front, yeah, your brake drum is actually this right here. Would be your brake drum under the rim. It's that rusty looking. That's your brake drum. Okay? See anything else? Then your brake pads would actually be in there, so you actually cannot see your brake pads. You have to pull the tire off to see the brake pads.
Do they have tie rods or anything on there, Mike, as well? Anything?
Tie rod?
I
Yeah,
mean,
like
it is in the
the
back of the axle, but is anything on the list?
No.
Nothing? Okay. All right.
There's push rod, which is a part of the brake chamber
Okay.
slack adjuster
Alright.
system. Okay.
Good.
What's the rotor? Oh, that's rear axle.
Rotor.
Never mind.
That's front axle, but this one doesn't have a rotor. The small buses do.
Okay.
No rotor. Okay, that's good to know.
Not on this one. Right. Okay. So we go to the side of the bus, and they'll want you to start from the front to the back. So first you have your battery box. Okay. And then you have your 3 clearance lights. There's 2 amber clearance lights and 1 red clearance light in the back. Okay. Then you'll pull out your stop sign. Make sure the stop sign works. Goes back by itself. Okay. You have your passenger or your flat mirror and your convex mirror are up here, and they're not shattered or broken. Your driver window is not shattered or broken or spider web. Okay. You have 3 reflectors, 2 amber reflectors and 1 red reflector in the back. It's these right here. Okay. You have 2 emergency exits, and all your passenger windows are not cracked or broken or shattered. Anything like that.
And they want that just reference, Mike, usually when you talk about reflectors and light
Yep,
reference
they
if
just-
they're
Yep, they make sure they're in good condition.
Do
The
you-
main thing is not cracked or broken. They're in good condition. They're
Are they going to make us pull the battery out?
no, no. We don't have to pull out the battery. You don't even have to open it.
Okay.
During the test.
What's that thing sticking
And
up
that's all
behind the
inside.
battery box?
That's all it is. Fuses and everything are on the inside, so you don't have to worry about that until you get to the inside. This is normally when you get under there and point out your floor is in good condition, your frame's in good condition. Okay, and then you do that just right in the middle. So you'd actually get down on your knee and point. I'm not.
They do make us do that though? Yep, okay.
You look under.
Yep, but they'll
they
stand.
won't.
Okay.
So if you, like I did, if you get on your knees and look under the bus and then just say stuff, then they'll hear they'll listen for that.
Okay.
You'll know what you're, that type of thing.
Do you have to talk about that brake compartment down there? Is it called pressure tank?
Air compressor?
Yeah.
Nope, that's pointed out up front.
What is this? What's the?
What's what?
What's that tank on?
This one right here?
Yeah.
That's another air tank. Yep, that's all a part of the air compression. Yep, yep. That one might be more for the ride than it is. That one's for the brakes. This one's more about suspension, kind of the nice, smooth ride that you get. Okay. Now, fuel tank and everything's on the other side. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything. This actually seems to be missing.
They'll want you to hit rear wheels and
They'll
stuff
want
to
you to hit the
duplicate
rear
that.
wheels too. Yeah. So you'll point out your tire is in good condition. Kick the tire. Okay. And then you have this one. This bus isn't aired up all the way, so I can't get my hand under here. But it's 2 30-second step in the back, which this one is really good. Yep. You also want to point out that this is an inverted rear rim. This isn't just a rim. This is inverted rear rim. And then you point out again. Honestly, I'm not sure what the torque arm is. That's different on my list here. But you also have your brake chamber and slack adjuster like you do have up front, which is actually behind the tire, straight back, but right behind the tire like you saw back here. That's where it is. That stuff is all behind. Whereas that in the front, it's right behind the tire. Right here, it's on the other side of the tire and back a little bit. Okay. This one doesn't have a rotor either. And then your brake pads you cannot see from here, so you have to pull the tires off to see the brake pads.
Okay.
Okay? Yep. And then it does point out airbags. The airbags are under there. See, if you look from here, if you look to the other side of the tire, right behind the tire, you see that huge bag there?
Oh.
You see what I'm talking about? That's an airbag, and that's for suspension. So that would be your airbag.
What do they use your mount? Just to look at that mount where it's mounted on the metal.
See, some of this is based off of our old lists and our old tests, so some of this stuff is a little bit different. Couple of these things they don't do anymore, like air mounts they don't do, torque arm they don't do, and then the push rod and stuff is the same as it is in the front. And then we have to add rotors onto our list, even though these don't have rotors. So it'd be the small buses, like over there, would have rotors, and these won't.
What did you say about spacers? Are we supposed to indicate that?
Spacers, that would be between the two tires, but these don't have them. So you don't have to point it out. Okay. And they do know that, so if you say something about a spacer, and they know that there's no spacers in these big buses, they'll dock you for that. Okay. Alright? Then you go to the back. You start from the top to the bottom again. So you do your 3 red clearance lights in the back. Okay? 2 amber warning lights, 2 red warning lights. Okay? And you have your back windows. They're not shattered or broken. Okay? You have your emergency door, and they will look for you to open the door.